Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Somos Mas, the official podcast of Somos Mas NM and your source for the latest news and notes on New Mexico United and the New Mexico Runners. My name, of course, is Seth Bidoff. Joining me this evening, we've got the one, the only Jacob Terrell, who is prepped and ready to go. Earl is in the background trying to fix his internet connection. So as soon as he feels he's ready, Earl will drag him in here to the show. But gotta say, I'm happy to have you guys here. I'm happy to be back here again on a Tuesday night, recording a podcast and talking about much better results over the past week. Aside from the news about Dayon Harris, it's been a pretty good week for New Mexico United. You know, come from behind draw against Tulsa, win at the weekend over Monterey Bay, and in the big news of the week, the city council denied the appeal to prevent the stadium. Let's start with that. I mean, obviously, big news. I talked to Ron Patel a few weeks ago, who told me the club was expecting a positive decision for the stadium tomorrow night, or last night, I should say. And sure enough, the club got the vote they were looking for, 8-1 in favor of denying the appeal. So it looks like things are moving forward at this point for the stadium. However, the opponents are now stating they may take it to district court. So, first of all, I mean, Jacob, obviously we all kind of expected this news. We all kind of, knew that this was coming. I mean, how do you feel knowing that the last hurdle has finally been cleared?
Good. I don't think, like you mentioned, I don't think there was a whole lot of doubt this was going to happen. Just semantics now, just going through the motions. I want to take a quick second. Josh, Christian, and according to our little box up here, when we went live, there were 4 people watching. There's like consistently 4 to 6 of you that are here, like right when we start. I know Josh is almost always here. Justin's almost always here. Christian missed a few weeks, but has been here the majority of the time. I'm not sure who the other ones are that are watching right now, but I want to give you guys a shout out for just being here, waiting on us as we wait on Earl. Oh, hey, Earl. Oh, you're muted, sir.
Sorry, I had a kid. My bad.
No, it's fine. First of all, do not blame Zaylee on your technical issues that you were fixing to start with. So do not do that shit.
Which I'm hoping is better now.
It is. Yeah. It's passable now. Yeah. I won't boot you or mute you anymore. No, I wanted to give them a shout out for sure. What is this? Is this big news? Is this big news, Josh?
Yo!
Yay! Congratulations, Josh.
Yeah.
A little February baby coming. Nice.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, buddy.
Awesome. Yeah. So speaking of Earl's issues here quickly, Earl thought it would be a good idea to podcast off of a hotspot tonight.
Hold on, pump the brakes, because technically my internet is T-Mobile anyways, so it's the equivalent of hotspotting.
Then okay, never mind. I guess that makes sense. I'm also confused as to why you wouldn't just if hotspot versus your Wi-Fi is the same, why not just use the Wi-Fi instead of a hotspot and tie up your phone?
Well, you see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things connected to my internet right now.
Okay, but if it's the same, does it really matter?
Yes, because this is its own hotspot.
I'm just giving you general.
You know what? Just carry on. There's a damn show we have to talk about. Let's do it.
Josh, is this your first? That's my question for Josh over in the chat. Other than that, back to the OG question that was asked by Seth. Yeah, it's great news. We'll figure it out if there's another hurdle or not. And then it's just time. It's just, I think basically this whole process it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And we just have to be patient. and possibly a matter of where, depending on what happens here. But I expect it to be at Balloon Fiesta Park. I think we're good. It's just a matter of waiting.
Yeah, my question is, what legal contest do they have to this? I don't know that they do. I mean, it's been voted on, it's been tested, it's been reviewed, it's been, I don't know what leg they have to stand on if they were to try to take it to district court. And Justin's got a great point. All of the latest real question is how fast, once ground we broke, do we get everything pushed? I mean, I think the club is hopeful for 2026.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be the absolute best case scenario, because we're certainly not getting it for 2025. My guess is 2026 we have a stadium.
My guess would be 2027, just because we're already pretty late into 2024, and there's always kinks to work out in the construction process, and we haven't even got there yet. So
yeah, it's entirely possible. I mean, we've got 17 months between now, or 19 months between now and opening day 2026. So
it's possible. I mean, they could build like $17 generals in that time frame. And that's two guys that do that for $1 general, is my understanding. And so it's possible.
And one's a supervisor.
Yeah, exactly. And so he wears the white hard hat. And then, but no, it's just wait. But if we can get ground broke on it in the next 3 or 4 months, then okay, maybe 2026. But if we don't get ground broke on it until, because from my understanding, from what I have read, is now it's going to be up to the city, because the city had promised a pad ready site. So the city's got to do all the infrastructure work that they got money to do at Balloon Fiesta Park. So they have to get all that done before we can break ground on the actual stadium. And so we'll see.
I mean, Justin, you can't fix the entire state all at once. I mean, I don't know what you count as a small patch of road, but the entire state needs new roads. So
not us. We just got new ones in Tobacco County. We're fancy.
They're repaving San Mateo again.
Nice.
Like they spent, was it 12 months, 18 months, redoing the intersection of Wyoming and Manal for, I have no idea what they did. And now they're redoing San Mateo.
I think that was underground utilities that they were working on there, not road construction, if I remember correctly.
I don't know. I don't know what they did, but it took them forever to do it.
Yeah. So,
and now they're, I think they put a higher priority on fixing the rumble strips between here and Edgewood and everything else.
Let me, because that's the way we go to Albuquerque. Mm-hmm. So for those of you that live in Albuquerque that don't understand what we're talking about, the rumble strips are on the road. They touch the yellow line and come into the road by a couple inches. And when you're coming through those fucking curves through to Harris and through the canyon, and there's a semi next to you that rides the freaking white stripe, and you have to get off onto the shoulder ever so, not even like just barely touching the damn yellow line. And it pisses me off, because half the time when I get there, that's right when my kids fall asleep. Mm-hmm. And then I hit those and my kids are like, "Dad, drive better." I'm like, "It's not me. I promise you it's not me." So
they're literally adding 6 inches of asphalt.
Oh, it drives me nuts, man. Drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they're doing it, because I could care less about the surface streets, because I don't drive on them. I want my freaking width back.
No, I agree with you. I drive back and forth through there quite a bit. And yeah, it's especially when they were doing the initial construction, that was awful. That was really, really bad. So, and I know the residents in that area are happy that they're fixing it, simply, because of the noise that was going on. But, it's, I feel like they just need to, take a week, do Wyoming, take a week, do Eubank.
A week?
A week. Yeah. Do it at night. Do what Florida does. Do their road construction at night. I mean, you could do that for 9 months of the year here. And if you do that, then you avoid all the nonsense, like what's going to happen right now with I-25. So
I have a question.
Yes,
Or-
Earl, babies have diapers.
We're 12 minutes into the stream. All we talk about is damn roads.
We're 10.5 minutes in. Thank you very much. And no, we talked about the stadium for the first 8 minutes. You were just working on your fucking technical issues. So pipe down. Pipe down.
Quiet.
Pipe down,
quiet.
young man. Pipe down.
Can we get the show on the road? Speaking of roads, like
That was good. That was good.
That was a very good segue, Earl. That was perfect. And Justin, fortunately, I don't, I get to stay late, so I don't have to deal with all that. But yeah, apparently that was it's pretty bad getting in and out of there at night. So, but I mean, yeah, busy week. We talked about the stadium. We've already talked about Dayon Harris. He's going to be out. We know that there are some other minor things popping up. Guys getting some rest over the week. But all in all, you got 2 matches. Really realistically 3 in 7 days. We don't need to talk about last Sunday's match, but 4 points at home starting on Wednesday with Tulsa United comes from behind. Harry Swartz, Magic Man, Team of the Week, Player of the Week.
Yeah, Player of the Week, Harry Swartz comes in, gets 2 goals off the bench. United snatches a point from the jaws of defeat. And I mean, let's talk about this one here to begin with. Things started out okay. And this one, things started out okay. And then we just inexplicably, if you give up the one header to Alexis Swahi, I mean, all credit to him. The first one was great. Nothing against it. There wasn't poor marking. It was just a great header. But then right towards the end of the half, you give up 2 goals in less than, 7 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it was. And you get a very uncharacteristic giveaway by Abdi. You get really poor marking on the other header by Swahi. And I mean, just what is it about first halves? What in this past month, almost a little bit longer, what is going on? And I mean, in that moment, Coach Quill talked about it. They just switched off. And you can't do that. Like, why does this keep happening? Are we getting complacent? Because it certainly seemed to me that Tulsa did not outplay us at all. Earl, you wanted to get this show on the road. Talk.
Sorry, I was making sure the baby didn't start crying. I don't know. First halves have been our monster right now. I'm gonna mute myself.
All right, well, Jacob, let's move on over to you.
Okay, we're good. She didn't cry as much as I thought she was going to. We're changing the diaper, so
okay. And first of all, you're not doing a damn thing right now with the diaper. Don't say we.
Hey. We talked a couple minutes ago about the guy with the white hat.
Yes.
I'm waiting for that backhand to come in.
That's what I'm doing right now.
She can't hear us though, so she
can hear him.
Not, yeah, but she probably doesn't. She probably tunes him out like we do.
So does Zadie. Anyways, I think what happens in the first half, we come out flat-footed. We underestimate the opponents that we're playing. We think it's going to be easy for us, and then they get 3 on us, and we're like, oh, fuck, what are we going to do now? Thankfully, our team is talented enough to come back from 3-1 deficits now. I don't know if we've ever came back from 3-1 deficit. You know who has come back from a 3-1 deficit, though? LeBron James. So I think that's what happens. We come off flat-footed and kind of napping still, and then they get the. Oh, I was like, what the hell happened? They get the upper hand for a couple minutes, and then we get back into the game. I don't think it's that we're getting lazy. I think it's that we underestimate the opponent that we're playing, and then realize, oh shit, we still have a whole half to go, and let's get this taken care of.
All right, now quickly here, I do want to point out there was a moment right here, and about 3 minutes prior to this, Earl was not happy with Jacobo Reyes being in the lineup.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And if you've been paying attention to our socials, there is a post made on Wednesday after this goal happened. And Earl, let's break this down here real quick. You know, what happens on this goal? What does Jacobo do right here?
Just carry on.
So I will say, first of all, Earl probably needs to eat. Earl's take on Jacobo from the get-go was kind of dumb. So he doesn't have to eat that much crow. I don't think. Because we've been giving him shit about it for a while now. Jacobo's been good. He's been fine. He's been really good at times. This is a beautiful goal. The Tulsa I don't know what the Tulsa defense was doing. Gave him a ton of space, and he's able to pick out the bottom left corner. And it was kind of a theme throughout most of the first half. Like you said, we looked the better side the majority of the match. To me, this wasn't an overlooking the opponent. This was clearly just shutting off for like a 2-minute stretch right before halftime. And then this goal here, it's not great defense, but Swahi does get up, gets a piece of it. It's not like the second one. The second Swahi goal is unacceptable. He's alone in the 6-yard box. No, sorry, he's not alone in the 6-yard box. There are 4 other United players in and around the 6-yard box, but yet none of them are within 4 yards of him. And so that one, completely unacceptable. This one, I can live with.
I mean, the markings there, you've got the defenders. I mean, Swahi got up. That's what it comes down to here. Yeah. I mean, it was great delivery on the ball. And like I said, we didn't do a poor job marking him on this one. I mean, and then, drawing the foul here, I thought this was a great, step, almost step over here by AO to draw the penalty. But can we please stop with this, Greg? Can we please stop with this? Like, I hate this. I absolutely hate that. I thought we had figured out the penalty kick thing.
No, he had done this the last time too. But it worked last time.
Yeah.
Because we had a conversation about it, and Earl was asking if he could switch which direction he goes based on which way the keeper dives, which theoretically is the plan. It just did not happen in this particular moment. And
I
so
still hate it. I think it kills all the momentum. And you see how weak that shot was.
Yeah.
And I hate it. I hate doing that.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'm for those of you that might get triggered, I'm going to mention Leagues Cup. So be warned. In watching Leagues Cup, I watched the penalty shootout between Colorado and Club America, and there was 3 misses through 20 PKs.
Mm-hmm.
And every single one of them was, I'm going to put it right here as hard as I can. And then they went up and did that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And just goes to show what exactly it's supposed to look like. And so, yes, that is definitely what somebody needs to. Maples for PK Taker 2025.
Yeah, here's the second goal by Alexis Swahi here, and you talk about the marking on the first one. Look at the spacing here. This is just awful. You see, you see both defenders get sucked over and leave a gap of space there in behind, and so just absolute free header, great delivery again, and this was absolutely terrible marking by us. It shouldn't have happened at all.
But then the second half comes, and the second half is where I have to eat my crow. Me and Christina both, to an extent, and pretty much everybody. I think nobody's been super thrilled with Sergio Rivas's performances, pretty much all season.
Even Sergio,
yeah, but he comes in at halftime of this match along with Harry Swartz, and just completely changes the whole complexion of this match and leaves us coming out of it, like you said, with a point, feeling a hell of a lot better, than after the first 45 minutes. And if it wasn't for those two changes and Quill again, like that's just atrocious by Abdi.
Yeah.
I think Abdi's getting a little worn out. But that's not it's not a he might be
there was no need to take that kick, right? You could have settled
No.
it and then taken a bigger one. But
yeah.
this is probably the worst play we've seen out of him all season, the worst moment we've seen out of him all season.
He had one a couple weeks ago that was pretty bad too. It wasn't
This
with
is
the ball.
worse.
No, like as a fullback, your priority is defending. Like he does do a lot with his feet, but the play last time was just a complete defensive lapse, and that just can't happen when you're supposed to be a backline player, in my opinion. So yes and no. I think they're both equally bad. Tom is back. Tom, welcome. Jane, yes. Maples should be our PK taker. Maples 2025.
So to that question, coach has actually addressed that. He says if Hurst is on the pitch, he's the number one option, and then going to be Maples.
Yes, so Big Dog Schwartz came through. Rivas is finding form. He plays much better in a deep role. I fully agree. I'll eat some crow on Rivas, but I want to talk about this play here. This is the equivalent of getting dunked on by Spud Webb. Like, Swahi is so much bigger. I thought you might like that reference there.
Seth. Yeah, great.
Swahi is just so much bigger than Harry, and Harry just bodies him to get that ball and find the back of the net, and that made my heart happy. And I will say Swahi deserves a lot of credit. He played a hell of a match, both defensively and then, of course, obviously he scores 2 goals. And it was a huge moment for him. I commend him for not celebrating really on either of his goals. Shows a lot about him. But no, and then Harry, takeaway goal of the week. That thing is still rising somehow when it hits the back of the net. Just beautiful second half. And I don't really have a whole lot to say else about this match. It was just a tale of two halves, just like a couple of other recent matches. And I hope that Saturday's match, and the fact that it wasn't a tale of two halves, kind of says we may have cleaned some shit up and don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, you watch the second half here, and it's clear that we clearly outplayed Tulsa in the second half. We had chances. I mean, this here, you have chances. You miss the penalty early on. You miss, you miss Nicky's header early on. Quelle goes off the bar here. Like you've got chances. We had opportunities to walk away with the 3 points here, but you have those few moments. And again, we talk about all the time, they're just switching off, and it's tough. And the guys talk about, Kalen talks about, the coach talks about, they talk about staying on for the full 90.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't know what it is to where this keeps happening. I mean, Earl, is there something that you're seeing is it just because of the long weeks? Is it because that, tired legs throughout? Like, is it just, we're getting, again, I asked earlier, are they getting complacent at times?
It can be a couple of things. I mean, I said it a couple of weeks back where we're in the congested part of the season. I mean, we've literally had, in the past 3 weeks, we've probably had 7 or 8 games. So I think it's just tired legs and the congestion of it, and just the mental fatigue of playing here, playing in Indy, playing back here, and then playing, I think we play Monterey Bay somewhere. We've had so many road trips and home trips back and forth that it's going to take a toll on you regardless. I mean, I think that's really what it boils down to, is kind of a culmination of everything of, one, the point of the season that we're at, where they've played so many minutes so far, the part of the schedule that we just have to get through because it's congested, and then the tired legs on top of the congestion that just adds to everything. So I think that's really what it is. I think if we're to catch an off week, which I think we have one coming up here soon, I think we'll be fine. I want to say we have an off week coming up this sometime soon.
So a few things over in the chat. One, Christian with Harry's second deserved to be goal of the week contingent more than Goodrum's. And Josh agrees. Goodrum's, the only reason why Goodrum's is in there is because it was his first match with Lou City. It was a decent goal, but it was his first match with Lou City. So that's exactly what happened. Exactly, Christian. And also, I don't think Wednesday matches, when there's a lot of goals on Saturday, tend to fare well in the getting nominated for goal of the week. Second,
so I don't think any of those goals were good other than Quelle's.
Yeah, and I have a thing about free kick goals anyway, so even Quelle's it's a great goal, and I'm going to vote for it, but I'm usually against voting for free kick goals as goal of the week. Yes, Earl.
So we don't have an off week. I did just check.
Okay.
But our schedule is pretty light from here on out. I mean, we play Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday, Saturday. So, I mean, we have some pretty decent space throughout to where it's not Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, or Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, anything like that. So I think we start getting some rest, especially with the rotations that we've had. And, I mean, I think we stop coming out flat-footed and sluggish, and we start firing away like we have been.
Well, and so to be fair, another comment over there, Ale had an early chance too. Our XG was high as usual. Like, this match against Tulsa was nothing like our previous matches where we came out flat, in my opinion. We didn't come out flat necessarily in this one. It was we shut off for a couple minutes. We were the better team in the first half, but we fell asleep for 2 minutes and they capitalized on those last two goals. So it's not like the Indy match. There's growth from the Indy match to here to Monterey Bay. Quille's winning. Good. So I'm not as concerned as I was against Indy. It looked weird, especially because I didn't watch the first half live. I watched it by reading the text in our group chat, which was wildly entertaining, not knowing what the hell was going on. Because I saw Jacobo score, and then I had to turn it off for a little while, and then was very confused.
All right, so Jane, quickly before we actually had a whole conversation about this in our group chat.
I had a good segue coming to get there. It was coming, I promise.
And I mean, Earl, I don't know. Earl seems to think it's a player announcement. However, it's something between a local creator, a local business, and the club. So, I mean, I guess it could maybe be a player. I don't know. I just don't think it lends itself towards being a player announcement. But
unless they're surprising us, but I fully expect a player announcement at some point. Yeah. There are going to be additions to this team. I just don't know when. Bless you, Earl. Yeah,
I was talking to some folks.
You're muted. I just saw it. Don't worry.
I was talking to some folks over the weekend about that. And part of that conversation is we do, if we're going to sign some people, we do need to get them in sooner rather than later, because they have to play at least 5 matches in order for them to be eligible for the playoffs. So, I think we can all agree there's going to be something soon. Is it tomorrow? I don't think so.
We'll see. If it is, I'd be super excited. I would not apologize to Earl, because Earl came with some off-the-wall shit yesterday when we were talking about this. And so I will not apologize for the take. You can talk. I hear you. Oh, is this wrestling shit? Is that wrestling shit? Oh, God. I knew it. And so we'll see. We'll see what happens. I fully expect some additions, and I think that will help with the squad rotation that we already saw. Because after the draw on Wednesday, we had a quick turnaround. Another thing, Christian, it was 3 games in 7 days. It was a Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday turnaround. And so 9 points in 7 days is 7 points in 7 days is a point a day. That's a shit ton of points over the course of a season. So I'm okay with that. But we were able to turn around, had a shit ton of squad rotation for Saturday's match that I tweeted out from our account that I was concerned about it. And so the squad rotation that Earl mentioned earlier is definitely happening. And we proved on Saturday that we can get a result even with a heavily rotated squad.
Yeah, talking about Saturday too. I mean, obviously, Monterey Bay comes in, and this is one that I kind of talked about as being a potential trap game for United. And I mean, let's be honest, Monterey didn't play all that terribly. They looked good. You know, they looked good under the new head coach. They were competitive, and they kept trying to work that left wing all night on Saturday. And you know, it turned out, it worked out pretty well for them throughout the evening. But you look at this, and you've got another match here where, you know, leading into this, our good buddy Earl had some concerns about Jacobo Reyes. I mean, Earl, you know, 2 goals in 2 matches for Jacobo. I mean, what's he doing well? You know, what's working for Jacobo right now?
I hate that you guys put me in this spot.
You put yourself in this spot, young man.
You did.
So really, what Jacobo is doing right now is he's finding the open spots. He's playing selfless soccer, and ultimately now he's having fun. Before it was he was coming in filling the role that he didn't want to fill in. I still think he's in the wrong spot. I don't think that he thrives as a left winger. As we've seen, he hasn't scored from the left side. It's been all right-ish areas.
Mhm.
Regardless of where he's scoring from.
I mean, I don't know who taught. Right. I don't know who taught you right or left, but we just saw a video of him scoring on the left side like 2 seconds ago.
I look down, so it's whatever. If I don't watch the screen,
it doesn't happen. Okay,
right here, it doesn't happen.
Fair enough.
So yes, I think that's what he's doing. I mean, long story short, he's scoring goals now, so I guess there's the Earl answer. But the more broken down answer is he's actually enjoying the role he was put into and finding the open spots, finding the open players to do what the team needs.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you. I mean, Jacobo he's absolutely being, he's being put into positions where he can succeed. And this is something that we've looked for all season. You know, you want to see guys producing in areas that they can, you want to see them in areas and in places that they can contribute.
Oh, sorry, it didn't just happen. It hadn't happened. It just happened now. He scores from the left side. That was my fault.
There it is. But no, he's playing well, and it's not that he hasn't played well all season. And you look back, even going back to Indy, you know, with the hold up play, he's done some really good things of late, and you know, he's in better positioning. He's getting better shots. He's, you know, and it's not that he's done anything wrong, at least to Jacob and me. You know, Earl, for whatever reason, is finally having to, you know, walk everything back. But okay, you know.
Yeah, no, he's been solid all year. He's definitely come on strong recently. A couple goals this week, and I think like one of the things that Earl's not going to hear me talk about it. One of the things that drives me nuts sometimes about Earl's takes is he focuses on one individual And a lot of times that individual is struggling, especially in the sense of an attacking player like Romario Williams, Brian Brown, Jacobo Reyes. If the ball isn't getting into good spots in the attacking side, then the whole offense is going to look like they're playing bad because they are. Like, it's just not, if something is not clicking up front. And if something's not clicking up front, then everybody up there is going to look bad. And when you single out one individual like that, like he does with Jacobo, or has done in the past, it's a bad look in my opinion. Now, I've shit on plenty of individuals like Sergio Rivas just recently. And that's more of a turning the ball over issue, a not trying to make the good pass and passing back, stuff like that, that Jacobo is not necessarily asked to do. And so I understand singling people out every once in a while, but Earl just needs to get better at it. That being said,
the cool part about that whole comment you just made is I didn't hear like any.
I know. I made a comment that you weren't going to hear it, and I was bummed, but neither here nor there. A ton of squad rotation for this match. We saw Seymour and Ryden in the back, so no Maples or Herbert in the starting lineup. We saw I had it pulled up and then I closed it. In fact, let me go to my tweet. I will read my tweet right now,
Go for it.
and I will show you exactly how much I screwed up.
Yeah, it was certainly an interesting lineup. And I know some folks had some concerns. There were some questions about, where are these guys? Where's Maples? Where's Herbert? They're fine. Just rotation. That's all it was. It was rotation.
And
at the end of the week.
That's another crow I have to eat as well. Is I wasn't too super excited about having Seymour back there. I haven't been excited about Seymour on the back line since he got here, to be honest. He definitely held his own and made it possible to have an extra backline person should something happen to Herbert or Maples or Ryden again.
So I'm gonna pause this right here. Keep talking. I'm gonna pause this right here.
So it was Hosu, Seymour, and Ryden. That the lack of Hosu and then bringing Seymour in alongside Ryden that made me nervous with this match because Traeger and Dixon are very, very fast and very, very talented, and that it just made me nervous. Ryden has proved to me though, and it helps. Like I see this because somebody that is currently situated above me has not talked shit about him all year because he hasn't. There's been nothing to talk shit about. He's been solid, and he doesn't necessarily look like the game changer old Kalen Ryden or young Kalen Ryden, however you want to word it, that we got like in 2020. But he doesn't make mistakes. He's got a little bit of speed back to where he can make up for a few things here and there. And so the last few matches have put any concern that I might have had about Ryden coming back from injury, has put those to bed. And there's no issues there whatsoever. You could play him with Maples or Herbert, and I'm feeling super confident.
The only thing with that to me is that Maples and Herbert have the partnership now. Because they've had so many minutes together back there. That's right. The only concern I have. And Kalen, even with him being a veteran, he doesn't have that relationship built with either of those guys yet. But we talked about Kalen a lot last year. I was particularly hard on Kalen last year. He didn't look the same. He had the injury. He came back. He did not look the same. And even early on this year, he's still not quite there. He doesn't have this. He's a little bit older,
Well, and he also missed 11 matches this year.
He missed time with injury this year, and he talked about that Saturday night. And he talked, the consistency, being able to be out there and get more minutes is having a huge impact on him. It's really helping his season and where he's at and how he feels. So no, he's definitely. I think he's in a better spot than he was last year. I do agree with that. And even with the first goal that we give up here on Saturday night, where Kalen is a step and a half, 2 steps behind the ball. I think what happened there is a lack of communication between the guys, and I think they kind of lost where.
Is it Kalen that's behind the ball, or is it Seymour?
Kalen's in front of the ball.
Yeah.
So Kalen's in front of the ball here. I'll back it up here. So you get the ball across over here out wide. And so you see Kalen.
I see where he's at.
And you've got Astorga behind. And so you see this gap, and Kalen's a step and a half, 2 steps behind the line of where Astorga and Dixon are. And so
that's Seymour as the next closest defender to Dixon.
No, that's Astorga. Astorga's 15.
No, the next closest, I said. So Astorga's right there on Dixon's hip. The next closest one I thought was Seymour.
No, that's Kalen.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it's small on my screen. So
So as the ball comes in, it's played out in front. You missed the deflection out on the right side. Now it's in a spot where Alex can't, more than likely can't get to it. But you see how far back Kalen is. So I think there's a bit of a miscommunication here, or a lack of communication between Arturo and Kalen. Being hey, we got a runner here. So
then where's Seymour? Because Seymour is
Seymour is right here. He's
supposed to be the center back on that side.
So if you look at Kate, if you look at Will, he's right. He's just outside the spot. Okay. So what happens is, if you go back in the clip a little bit, he actually, and I don't know if it's actually in the clip. So it is right here. So watch, ball comes into the middle, and
so he's pressing up on the ball right there. Okay.
He's gonna follow around.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. So Seymour's now
he's out of position.
Yeah, Seymour's out of position, and so you don't have anyone in that gap in between. And so I said, I think there's a bit of miscommunication there because again, Will's out of position, Kalen's where he should be, Astorga's behind Dixon, and so you don't have anyone covering that gap. So, and this is what I saw on Saturday night as well. Watching this, I go back and watch this. I said, okay, Will got pulled way out, following. I think it was Traeger, when he doesn't necessarily need to. I think it was the right. Do I think it was the wrong decision? No, but I think that it would have been better served if, say, who's that? Micheletto had dropped back slightly, or if you've got Jacobo's way out there on the wing, and that's something Coach talked about too, is Jacobo being better at the other in defense. So Jacobo is making the effort here. I don't have an issue with that. I do take a slight issue with Will stepping out as far as he did. And then again, it just seemed to be a lack of communication right there, that they didn't, communicate that there was a runner. So like I put, slightly on talent, slightly on Will, slightly on Kalen for being, a step or two behind, slightly on Arturo for the communication. Alex isn't looking that way. So he's watching the ball. Alex is doing what he's supposed to do. So there's a couple things that went awry here. But I mean, it was a great pass. It was a great shot. It's easily something that could have been missed, especially if you're Romario Williams or Kevon Frater. But it's all of this aside. Kalen has looked really good in the time that he's had, and he's getting better with more consistent minutes. And this really was a good game for him. And Coach talked about it. Kalen talked about it. I think there's some really good things that happened in this match for a number of different guys. One that I have an issue with, though, is one thing I do have an issue is this is now 8 matches in a row without a clean sheet. Is this concerning now at this point?
No. Earl might have another answer, but no, he's shaking his head no too. He's also feeding a baby for those watching or not watching and listening later. No, it's not I saw, I don't know if you saw the power rankings for USL Championship, but in Nicholas Murray's little blurb, he mentions the leaky defense. I don't know if I would consider us a leaky defense. We had a bad week, a bad 7-day stretch where we give up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
7.
6, 7 goals. Yeah.
Mhm.
7 goals in 3 matches. If you go back the next 6 matches, we only give up 7 goals. So it's kind of chalk it up to a bad week, and we see if we can move on. The defense overall has been fairly good. It's the first time that we've allowed back-to-back matches with multiple goals since April, when we played Tampa Bay and North Carolina and then Tampa Bay. And it's only, I had it earlier. There's only been like 3 other matches that we've given up 2 goals, besides those 2 stints where we gave up multiple goals in back-to-back matches, as far as league play is concerned. So obviously we give up a handful to Charleston, a handful to Tampa Bay, and then we gave up 2 to El Paso and 2 to North Carolina, but those were all in the month of April. Since April 27th, we have allowed 2 goals exactly before this week. We've allowed 2 goals 1 time. 2 times, sorry. So 2 times since April, the end of April, and then we do back-to-back matches here. So to me, it's not a cause for concern. I think we talked about the Tulsa goals already. The 2 Monterey Bay goals, we just broke down one pretty thoroughly. And it's not our A-team backline in there. And Dixon and Traeger are really good. So shit's going to happen like that. The second one in Monterey Bay, I have a slight issue with. Just nobody steps. It's kind of, I don't know, kind of, what was the word that Quill used? Laissez-faire. I think
He did say that. Yes.
And so a little bit of just kind of laissez-faire, blah blah blah. I'm not going to take this extra step, and is able to find a crease there. And so at the end of the day, a bad 2-minute stretch against Tulsa, and then one kind of misstep by Seymour and one misstep by the back line not stepping forward. I don't know if it's a huge deal to me.
Justin, great question. We'd have to look into that. Off the top of my head, I'm fairly certain we have Christian Nava still under contract for next season. Beyond that, I don't know. And that's one of the problems with USL Championship contracts. They're not very transparent in terms of duration, or we certainly don't know, salaries for the players either. But we can certainly look into it. The only one that I know for sure is Christian, because I don't know that any of the other guys are currently on an extension into next year.
I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of these guys that we signed this offseason aren't on 2-year deals, like Akale or Ao or Micheletto. I wouldn't be surprised if those guys aren't on 2-year deals. We like 2-year deals as a club, typically. We kind of have done that a lot more than other teams tend to do. And so since they don't announce it as, hey, a 2-year deal, a 2-year deal, I do think Brucey is through next year too, though.
Yes, I believe. Yeah, that's a good point. I really do. He might be as well.
And
we like to do one in like an option year.
A lot of that, yeah.
That's what a lot of clubs do, is one with an option year. Every now and then you'll see someone sign for a multi-year deal. I think Goodrum just signed a multi-year deal with Blue City. So
yeah, he did.
But it's not common in USL. But we'll dig into that, and certainly we'll know more as the season progresses and when we get into the off season as that goes. But looking at these 2 matches, obviously some good things, some bad things. who stands out from the week? I know we typically pick a man of the match, but over these two, really over the week, who stands out? Earl's got the baby, so we're trying to
That's very fucked up of both of you guys, by the way.
It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
I was trying to think, how am I going to do this? But I
you,
think
you did well. You did well.
I've learned a lot in 11 days. I think the one that stands out the most to me would be Sergio. When he started the season, he wasn't the Sergio we knew the past 2 years. And then he got hurt. And then he came back, and then he got hurt, I guess, again. So he had 2 injuries this season. And then he came back with definitely a chip on his shoulder and something to prove. So in my opinion, he's got my vote for the player of the week, just with how he played this entire week, even coming on as a sub with Harry and getting the draw, and then just how he played on Saturday as well. I mean, definitely Sergio as an easy answer.
Yeah, that's a good shout. I mean, I will say a week ago, Saturday or Sunday, I guess. So the Indy match on Sunday, which we talked about a week ago, he was not good. He scored the goal. He was not good in that match. Like, flat out. Like, the cameras pick up Quill yelling at him on the pitch. And so, but he gets that goal in the second half. He doesn't get the start Wednesday, but is able to come in and make a difference. And so you can see that confidence building. And so much, I think, with soccer players is confidence, especially when you're playing in the midfield. You have to have confidence in yourself to be able to make the right decisions and stuff. Because if you're scared, it's not going to end well. So he definitely has come on the last 2 matches, and I think that's a quality shout. I'm going to go Kalen, which seems funny, giving it to a defensive player in a 2-match stretch that we gave up 5 goals. But it's more of he looks good. He looks like he's in the right spot. None of the goals are fully his. And he gets what eventually is the game winner against Monterey Bay. I'm going to preface this by I'm going to say that obviously Akale and Swartz both get team of the week nods. Harry gets player of the week. Harry scores 2 goals on Wednesday's match. Akale gets the free kick goal and an assist in the Monterey Bay match. Both of those players played extremely well. Harry played 45 minutes out of a possible 180. I'm not going to say he was the best player that we had all week when he's only contributing 45 minutes out of 180 possible minutes played. Akale, look, I'm sorry. I don't like free kick goals. I just don't. It's a beautiful goal. All right. That's how it is.
How do you not like a free kick goal? I just don't get it.
So it's not that I don't like them. I just like Harry's goal is a way better goal for me. Harry's second goal is a way better goal for me than Akale's goal. Because Harry makes a defensive play to win the ball back. And then the defending players can actually do something to stop Harry. I know that the defenders can set up their wall and set up their positioning on a free kick and everything like that. But as Akale has proved over and over again, if you can hit the ball right with pace and power and put it in the exact spot you want it, which I know is hard. I understand that is hard. It's incredibly difficult. I just don't value them as much as I do other goals.
prior to Quele's goal, David Weesey, Carl, and I were sitting up in the press box, and we saw them setting up to take it. And we're both watching Siaha. Okay, we're watching where he was setting up, where the wall was, and we're going, okay, there's a lot of space over to, on the right-hand side of the goal until Siaha found the spot. David Weesey, Carl, we're both going, okay, top right corner, there's some room there. There's not as much of a wall. And that'd be a great spot to go. And then, of course, Quele goes to the left and, scores. And, David and I have decided we're going to be professional soccer coaches. So,
I like Justin's point here. At least those we make. So for PKs, can we just give the ball outside the 18 to Akale? And like no wall or anything? And I feel like we'd convert those way more.
Maybe I don't know, but yeah, I mean, all great shouts, all those guys that had really great weeks. Harry has obviously contributed. To be fair, Harry also just came back from a concussion. Mm-hmm. So it's good to see him back and contributing. I like what I've seen out of Kalen this week. I like what I've seen out of Sergio, Quele, Harry. I mean, there's a lot of guys, and just Brucey just non-fucking stop.
Yes.
Brucey's just nonstop. Like, so many good things happening for the club this week. At this point, I'm not convinced we will ever see Abu Danladi on the pitch in a league game. So, we have to ride what's going well for us, and that things are going really, really well for us. Especially right now with the way some of the results have happened over the week, and the fact that we've had, matches in hand, and we finally kind of took advantage of some of them, to the point now where we are 7 points clear of both Sacramento and the surging Memphis 901 FC. Oakland Roots now sitting 9 points back, and then of course from there it drops to a 13-point difference to Colorado and Las Vegas. I'm kind of surprised that Nick Murray and the USL Championship have not put together their playoff watch yet. Mm-hmm. After the win on Saturday night, United's magic number is 18. 18 points. So that's our magic number. 18 guarantees us, I believe, first place in the West. So yeah, because you look at the matches, we saw, matches in Hanover, Memphis, and Oakland. 18 puts us on 63, and no one can catch us. So, yeah, that's our magic number for first place. 18 points in 11 matches.
Doable.
So, it's entirely doable. We talked about our predictions a few weeks back, where we're going to end up points wise. And if we keep up this run of form, I think we can, it should be very, very doable. And yeah, Miami is out. We can all but say Miami's out. We can basically say El Paso.
You want to crown them? Crown them. Crown their asses.
Let's do it. Miami, Wooden Spoon winners. Congratulations, Miami. Congratulations to those guys on being the worst team in the USL Championship.
Do they come back next year?
I don't know. I really don't know. That's a very good question, because having the Miami FC and Inter Miami FC, like, it's a really tough market for them. I don't know if they come back or not.
And they've had piss poor seasons for about 5 seasons in a row now.
Yeah, they're just not good.
Yeah. So, let's take a look at the West. We're looking at, at the West. Obviously, you've got, your top 3-4 pretty much are going to be there. New Mexico, us, Sac Republic, Memphis, and Oakland. I think we can pretty much guarantee those 4 teams are all going to be in the playoffs. When you get down a little bit farther, you're starting with Colorado on back. You've got a 5-point difference between Colorado and the playoff line. Looking at some of these teams who are, I guess to me, I would say 5th through 11th are on the bubble. Like I said, those are the teams that I think you really got to look at to say who's going to be in, who's going to be out. San Antonio, 4 points in the last 2 matches. Is San Antonio finally on the upswing? Could this be a good sign for San Antonio?
Harry would say no. So I slightly disagree. I think 5 and 6 are safe.
Okay.
Mainly, I just look at Colorado and I look at Las Vegas, and I think they have a small cushion there over Orange County, a 4-point cushion. Colorado has a match in hand on them, but you look at 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. There are 4 points that separate those 5 positions, and so I think those 5 teams: San Antonio, Phoenix, Tulsa, Monterey Bay, and Orange County are fighting for 7 and 8.
Sorry, I misspoke. 18 is our matchup for the playoffs, not for first place.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just double checking my math. No, 18 would have gets to 6 to 63, but with 11 matches, that's 33 more points.
Yeah, technically.
So, yeah.
I think it's those 5 that are fighting for the last 2. Colorado Springs and Lights, I think, are safe. Now, that doesn't mean they necessarily finish 5 and 6. They could finish 7 or 8, but it would take somebody in that 5 or 7 to 11 range going on a run. But I think they have enough of a cushion that I feel comfortable saying that they're going to make the playoffs at least in 8th position. So it's really those next 5 that I'm looking at. Had you asked me a week ago, I would have said Orange County for sure. Now I don't know. Out of those 5, I think I feel the best about Tulsa.
Okay.
They have matches in hand. They're right there. I like the talent that they have. And they're just kind of this weird team. I mean, they have a -8 goal differential, but they just seem to show up at when you least expect them, including like Wednesday night. And so I just think that I'd feel better about them than anybody else there.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. I'm not. I said it earlier, like a few weeks ago. I'm not confident in Phoenix. I don't know where San Antonio's at. They've got the talent. They just need to put it together. I mean, even honestly, El Paso is maybe kind of creeping into the playoff discussion, but they're hanging on by a thread already. Yeah, I agree with you. Orange County has fallen off a cliff over the past month. Monterey has kind of done the same. So I just don't know. And again, we talk about, inconsistency is the word. That's just how the West has been all season long. I mean, even at the top, you've got us with 2 losses and 5, Sac Republic with 2 losses and 5, Oakland with 2 losses and 5. Like, it's going to come down, and we are going to have to, at the very least, match what Sac and Memphis are doing.
Quick question for you guys. Mm-hmm. Through 23 matches last year, how many points do you think we had?
Wasn't it 45?
No, that's where we're at right now.
Or was it 56?
What are you talking about? Through 23 matches.
Oh, sorry.
Not all total last season.
I don't freaking know.
I think we had 32.
Do you have a guess, Earl, or are you just waving the white flag?
I waved the white flag.
It was 29.
Okay.
And Earl, we had 46 total last year.
That was close.
So we're already 1 away from passing that. We just passed the most wins in a single season with the win on Saturday. Now we have 14. We are infinitely better than we were last year, in my opinion. It's really going to come down to, one, the additions, I think. And then if Sacramento and Memphis can go on a tear. Sacramento is the one that I think has the best chance. Even obviously we're tied on matches played with them, and we still have to play them twice. And we play them twice in like a 12-day span or something like that coming up in September. And so that one worries me. You look at the bottom of the West, there's nobody there that I think can make a run up to catch us by any means. It's Sacramento, possibly Memphis. Oakland, I don't think so. My other question to you guys, though, is so we're looking at the bottom of the West there. Who do you not want to see finish 8th if we finish first?
Um,
Probably Lights.
I think I'd rather face Lights than say Monterey.
Interesting. I think, me personally, even though they've been bad, I would rather not face Phoenix. Phoenix knows what it takes to win in the playoffs, even if it is a slightly different club. I might have to take a break because I hear a kid crying already and they're walking up the walkway. And then I'll leave you with this while I go figure out what the heck's going on.
Well, we can wrap it up here pretty quick. So.
Well, who do you? I don't know if you guys can hear her, but she's ridiculously loud when she cries, louder than a baby. Out of the 5 that we'd mentioned, who do you most want to face?
Phoenix. or Tulsa, either of those two.
I think we match up well against them. I also think we match up well against Orange County. So I think you could go a couple of different ways. But if Little Brother did somehow manage to get into the playoffs, could you have 3 wins in a season over them? It could definitely happen, but you don't want to see them if they get hot though. So, but yeah. So it looks like, are we good? Do we need to cut things? Okay. But yeah, then you look at over at the East, Lou City just keeps winning. I don't think anyone's going to catch them. As good as Battery has been all season, I don't see it happening. Lou City's too good. They're chasing history. There's a chance that they could finish on 86 points. So it's insane. It is absolutely insane what Lou City is capable of doing year in and year out. So I mean, they're 4 points clear of the Supporters Shield, 2 matches in hand over the closest team. It's just not even close. Earl, is there anybody that can stop Lou City?
Lou City. Lou City is their biggest enemy at this point. Can they stay healthy? Can they continue the run? Can Philip Goodrum mesh well with what Lou City's had going forever now? Can Lynn Family Stadium continue to pay the light bill so the lights turn on at nighttime? I mean, they're their biggest enemy. I mean, they're their own nightmare.
Yeah, that they are. So we had all sorts of visitors tonight, and here we go. So I mean, we've got one more topic. I mean, obviously, United's got another match this coming weekend. 7:00 Saturday night against Colorado Springs. Colorado, again, the story of the West, inconsistent. What are we looking for on Saturday? Do we expect Colorado to right the ship, so to speak? What do we look for?
They gave us a fairly good run for our money when they came down here. It was a pretty interesting match to see how we matched up and how we went at it. I want to say we won 1-0. But
we'll check that.
Yeah, definitely fact check me because I want to say 1-0. I'm not 100% sure.
It was 1-0.
Okay. I don't like this matchup at all because United historically has not played well at Widener Field, Widener Stadium, whatever the fuck they're calling it these days. Historically, we don't play well there. We can win there. We've won there numerous times, but it's typically a sloppy match. It's usually not clean. It's usually chippy for sure. But ultimately, I think what we need to look out for is us scoring quick. If we can score quick and hold that lead, I think we're good. If we don't turn off the lights for a couple seconds and let Colorado gather their bearings and get back into the match, then I think we'll be fine. But if we rattle them early and just continue to keep trying shots, then I'm all for it.
I mean, we talked about it a few weeks back. This is an extremely talented Colorado Springs team. You've got guys like Ronaldo Damas. They just added Justin Dillon. They got Malik Foster. And I mean, they certainly have the ability to go up and match up well against anybody that they face. Who's playing well for them right now, Jacob, that you think we need to keep an eye
on? Damas is the easy answer. I don't know exactly how well they're playing. Like I said, they have been incredibly inconsistent. Time out. Switch sides here, Maggie. I got tangled up over here. They've been incredibly inconsistent as well. They've given up 7 goals in their last 5. They've only scored a handful more or a handful less than that. Pause. Kids.
Wait, that actually works?
What?
The pause?
No, it was me telling you guys pause for a second.
Oh.
So they're kind of all over the place. Damas is the most consistent threat, even if he's not always scoring. I haven't watched very many of their last matches. I watched a little bit of the Pittsburgh one, and then I turned it off, and I'm sad that I turned it off because fireworks happened in the second half stoppage time. They got trounced by North Carolina a week ago, on the 10th, 10 days ago. And so they're just kind of all over the map. No matter what kind of form they're in going into the match, though, Damas and Foster and Zach Zandy are the 3 that really just kind of stick out to me. For the sake of trying to keep my streak alive, for those of you that don't know, I have mentioned multiple times a player that I am looking out for, and then that player is no longer in the 18. The most recent of those, the last 2 weeks, were Rafael Baca, who I shouted out on a Monterey Bay blog, and then literally the next day after they posted it, he was gone and no longer with the team. And then last Tuesday, I jokingly said Philip Goodrum for Memphis or for Tulsa, and lo and behold, the next morning we wake up and we have info on some news that might be happening later that day. And sure enough, he gets transferred to Lou City. So Ronaldo Damas will not be on Colorado Springs come Saturday. Because he's definitely the one that, I mean, I remember that stretch that they had with Orange County. We had with Orange County when they won the championship, and how crazy that was. And so those are the guys that just always kind of freak me out. If I'm not going to go like an attacking player, which I think it's really easy to go attacking player, they're flashy, they're big names. Zach Zandy, who is a midfielder, kind of plays an 8 role, kind of does a little bit of everything, and can create, can score, will defend, kind of does a little bit of everything. He's a player to watch. Damas is a player to watch out for. Zandy is the player to watch, if that makes sense. Damas could really hurt us, but he's not going to hurt us unless he's getting some service by Zandy or Foster. And so Zandy is the one that I wouldn't mind not seeing play.
I think you're missing someone. So Zandy and Foster and Damas are all really, really good names to put out there. But Jairo Henriquez, I mean, he's surgical in that midfield. I mean, he's very proficient with what he does, getting the ball up and moving it forward. He's my player to watch. I think if we can shut down Henriquez to avoid the passes forward and force them to keep playing backs where we can keep pressing forward, I think we'll be fine. But if we let Henriquez do his thing, then it's going to be a long, long night for our back line.
I like the shout. He has been very good when I have watched him. he has only played one of their last 3 matches, and he came on as a sub, and he was not in the 18 against Pittsburgh or against North Carolina. So I'm not sure how much we're actually going to see him out on the pitch unless they're like holding him for us specifically.
If we don't see him, then I'm all for it. I'm super happy about it. I'll take your motion, I guess, of him not being around. So I guess Henriquez would be my guy that I wish would stub his pinky toe on the coffee table and not be able to drive that day. That's my wish.
Because he didn't start against us last time either. He did come off the bench.
Seth is doing homework.
I'm fact checking Earl because Christian had a question. If we won there numerous times, doesn't that mean we played well there? So we did not lose at Widener Field to switchbacks until 2021. When we had 2 matches there, 2 matches here. We beat them twice at Widener Field in 2019, regular season play, and then Open Cup. And then I'm sorry, we beat them twice, three times in 2019 at Widener Field. We beat them. No, that's right. This is 2020. So we beat them 1, 2. We beat them twice at Widener Field and drew the 3rd time.
See, that's the thing. I didn't say we don't win there. Like I said, we play sloppy there.
Yeah.
We win. I never said we don't win. I said when we go there, it's a sloppy match. It's chippy. There's a bunch of cards being thrown out. It's never a pretty soccer match to watch. I mean, if you're in it for the drama and for the whatever you want to call bullshit, then
so
call shit, and it's fine.
Including Open Cup, we are 5-1-3 at Widener Field.
Yeah, and Josh said it right there. We got the first ever win at Widener Field, their stadium opener.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, we win there. It's not like we don't win there. We just don't win pretty there.
I mean, I guess you could make that argument. I mean, a number of our wins that were at Widener Field were by multiple goals. So it just kind of depends. But no, it is a matchup that, and you know, that can get chippy. And obviously people thought that the last El Paso match was going to get very chippy. But that was very, very sedate from what we've seen in the past and what we've seen in the preseason. And so I think the style of play that Colorado wants to play, they're going to try to be more fluid. They're not going to be that physical, scrappy team that we've necessarily seen in the past. So it's a different style of play that we've seen out of Colorado, and they're super talented. And you know, it's I don't know. This again here, you have to get results on the road. I think with this, looking at their players, looking at the roster, looking at, you know, they are very good at home. This is going to be a tough matchup. I mean, for me, I'm going to watch the defensive line. That's where I'm going to see what happens here. You know, can we break them down? Can we pull them out of position? You know, you got guys like, you know, Mahoney and Duke LaCroix who are across that back line that are going to be playmakers for them. I'm going to say a 2-2 draw.
Jacob, what do you got?
We're the better team. Like we just are, and sometimes I think it's that simple. We're gonna win. I think it could be a multiple goal win. I'm gonna say Tambakis finally gets his 50th clean sheet, and we get a 2-0 win.
I have no rhyme or reason for what I'm about to pick, except for it's Earl's wacky wild take.
Funny math.
Actually, I haven't done funny math in a while, so
I know, because it was very funny.
And my non-funny math actually kind of worked out on Saturday, where up until the 88th minute, I was predicting the scoreline right.
I'm not gonna lie, I might have cheered a little bit when they scored that.
I kind of cried. I asked who planted onions around this place. Regardless, this Saturday, I think we get a multiple goal win. I think Tambakis gets his 50th clean sheet. And I say 4-0.
Jesus Christ, Earl.
Wow. Okay.
To be fair, that's what Seth predicted against Monterey Bay. So, but that was at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 4-0.
That would be a heck of a win. I don't know. I'd love to see it. I want it to happen. So.
So we have not won in Colorado since 2021.
That's correct.
Which I heard you say we didn't. That was the first time we lost was in 2021, right?
That's the first time that they beat us in Colorado.
So,
I think it was the first time they beat us in general and in all competitions was in 2021.
So it was us in Colorado until 21, and it's been them since.
Yeah.
So that I didn't catch that part. If you mentioned it earlier, I apologize. But that's interesting to me. I think we break that. I still think we break that though.
I think we can. I mean, I certainly think we can. It's going to depend on how we come out, and can we play a full 90?
Yeah. We're also good enough though that, as we've proven, we don't necessarily have to play a full 90 to get a result, which is crazy, but it's true.
Yep. Very, very true. So, all right. Do you guys have any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I have one closing thought. Guess what?
What?
No, you have to guess.
I thought this was a joke. Damn it.
No, you really have to guess.
Babies throw fits.
No, you're wrong.
No, they do. I can guarantee they do. But
There was a car wreck somewhere in Albuquerque today.
there 100% was.
I didn't go to Albuquerque today, but if you guys don't know, that's fine. I can tell you.
Grandma in the hospital, why would you make me guess that?
What is that?
I was so right that I muted it.
Ooh, fancy pants, Rich McGee over.
I don't
Earl,
know.
this is not TikTok, Earl.
I don't know what's happening. Earl.
All I know is that's a sound on TikTok.
It's been a while since I've done that, so I had to do something there.
I appreciate that, I guess. Steph, do you have anything?
I do not.
All right. What's that, Maggie? Oh, Maggie has something to say. Hold on. Come here.
Oh, I do have something actually. And this
No,
is
it's
like,
Maggie's turn. It's Maggie's turn.
Okay, sorry.
Go ahead. You gonna say something? Hey, what are you doing? You were yelling at me a minute ago. Are you camera shy now?
Third. Earl, I just had to give you a couple more crows.
No, you're fine. You're fine. But in reality, Seth has accepted the league invite. Jacob, I need you to go accept the league invite.
I'll think about it.
No, there's no thinking about it.
I'll think about it.
Can we try our best to get more than 6 people in the league this year?
More than 6?
Yeah.
All right, here's the deal, guys. We are doing a fantasy football, American football league, or at least Earl and Seth are.
And Harry.
And Harry. Last year, I think we only had 6. You guys only had 6. I don't think I did it because I was in the academy. I don't remember.
Yeah, we had 6 last year.
Yeah.
So that's not even a league. We got to get at least 10. So if you're interested in joining, mention it in the chat right now. If you're watching this, if you're not watching this, then just shoot us a message on social media, or shoot Earl directly a message.
It's probably
And-
better to do it on the page on
Okay.
Facebook because that's what I do, monitors the Facebook. So if you're interested in joining the league, it's free. We're not charging any money or anything like that. I'm actually changing the number of teams right now if it lets me. It might not let me.
Okay, well, reach out if you're interested, and we'll try to get this to be a real league instead of a baby league. Other than that, if you guys don't have anything else, Earl's working on that. I understand. I'm gonna hop in. Josh, Christian, Justin, Jane. There was no Harry. I think Fabian was in here. And then was Robert in here for like a hot second?
I didn't see him.
I guess not. Thank you guys so much. I think you guys are probably the 4 to 6 that are always
Jane.
originally on. I said Jane.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, that are always on when we first start off. And so thank you guys so much. We will be back next Tuesday. We'll talk about the Colorado Springs match. We will preview the match after that, which I believe is. Oh, I'm way off. I don't know. Help me out, somebody. No, neither of you are gonna help me out. Cool.
Miami FC.
Oh, okay. So we won't preview that match.
I will be at that match.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Justin. We've had a watch party. I think we've done a watch along.
Yeah.
I think we could probably try to do something most of the time. We might see. We'll chat about it, Justin. We all have kids, and so sometimes it's a little impossible
I
to do
won't
that.
on Saturday. So.
Oh, you won't? Oh, nice.
No.
Okay.
No.
So
I normally I would. They're going to be camping. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll see. Just thank you guys so much. Thanks, Earl, for taking time out of his busy schedule with a brand new baby to come out. And I say that slightly tongue in cheek, but also I mean it. It is a big deal. You did good. You did good. I think the biggest, the most time I've seen baby brain was yesterday with the new player announcement. Because for some reason this man was like, it literally says the new player is a candle maker. It literally says that, and we had to point out to him that was a comment. And so baby brain is real, and it's hilarious. And what are you doing back there? Anyways, thank you guys so much. We'll be back next Tuesday, and hopefully be talking. I don't know. I think Christina is going to be out next Tuesday, or is it?
Yeah, she had
following
mentioned it.
Tuesday. I don't remember exactly what it is, but me and Seth will be here for sure. We'll see if Earl can make it. We'll see if Christina can make it. Maybe we'll bring on Harry. I like getting Harry on. We usually have him on like at the halfway point, and we haven't had him on since the beginning of the season. So we'll see what's going on there. Yeah, it's always there. So we'll see what we can do. But catch us again next week.
And just
8 o'clock
to
Tuesday.
real quick before you get out of here, I did up the team number to 12. So there are 12 spots. There's now 9 spots open.
Okay.
To whoever wants to join.
Cool. All right. Let us know, and we will be back next Tuesday. Thank you guys so much. And until then, somos amigos.